So I'll tell you one thing I feel in the UK right now, there's a real shift in the political landscape. And I feel like the power's moved from the politicians and the establishment. It's starting to move into the people and the public. And it comes from the fear that you can feel comes from Keir Starmer. I feel like he's got a real fear of where things are going and where things are leading. And do you know what? All the English people want is to be left alone. We'll go to work, we'll pay our taxes, but we generally just want to be left alone to get on with our lives and raise our kids. And he just keeps prodding and poking and taxing and constraining and restricting. And, he hasn't really had a break on that path, has he? He's obsessed. I have to have another go at them. Do you know what? I think he's not going to last the full term. He's going to be removed prior to the general election because they'll come out with a new Labour, new direction. Keir Starmer days are over with, and they'll try and spin it one way or another. But if you look at the changes in which the Tories have took, Kemi Badenoch talking about immigration and certain subjects, she's really changed in her tone on certain subjects, and Starmer has. Flags were all right-wing. Being a patriot was all right-wing. They were all at their conference waving flags, and now they talk about patriotism. Now, they were condemning that weeks before, and they've condemned a lot of stuff that they've then switched on. Now they're all saying that they're the same thing as what they condemned weeks and months ago. And that's the show of power that's moving more into the people, and they've absolutely got a shitty on with what's going on right now. And you take the march that took place in September, whatever the numbers are, whatever you think they are, that number of people visually on the streets of London, there isn't a single politician in the UK, not even Farage with his surging popularity, that could get that number of people on the streets. And people are sick of being right-wing. They don't want to be technically right-wing. They don't want to be called that, but they've got quite used to it because they just called it left, right and centre on a daily basis. And do you know what? Maybe it's not everybody wants to vote for Rajin, but we've had Boris Johnson, which as much as I like him, he was a bit of a buffoon. And then we've got Keir Starmer, which is he's just weak as piss. We've had two really weak leaders, and now they're looking for a change in a direction. And unfortunately, it's not going to be Tories and it's not going to be Labour. And I know everyone starts piping up, oh, you could vote Lib Dems or Greens. We need a massive change, and the strongest voice that's coming out with the strongest kind of message that is stoking a bit of a fire in most people is Farage and it is Reform. Not everybody wants to vote for them, but you know what? What other choice have you got? It's kind of the route you have to go down if you want big change. Yeah, I think we're going to see more of a shift towards a reform kind of mandate, and a lot of the parties and politicians are probably going to mirror what they do because they know it's ringing a bell with the people. And yeah, I feel like 100% the power is coming back into the people's hands, which it should be. We voted them in and we pay the wages.